Did we start
already the stream? Seamless?
Yeah.
Majka? We'll tell you more about this topic. After that, it's up to you guys to vote about the speaker of the next year, so 2023, January. Then we're having a quick overview of what does 2023 has in store for us here in Latvia for the game dev industry. Then, guys, it's up to you to start talking, because it's open mic, aka show and tell. Then one of the reasons why some of you might have come, which is getting free beers, aka the game. And a little bit of deviation from the schedule, a little surprise is gonna happen after the game. And after that, it's time for you to get your refills and start talking to each other and networking. But I already saw some like faces and like, hey, wait, we voted like the previous meetup and now that guy is nowhere to be found. And yeah, indeed, we were supposed to have Andrej Skļaviņš about the case of the Golden Idol, which is, he's kind of a bit of a tiny Latvian celebrity now, because this is Metacritic. I checked it this morning, and he's in spot 20, which is above, was God of War, and like ton of other AAA titles. So if you go to Metacritic today and check out top 100, like top 100 games in the world, according to their scores, that's where Case of the Golden Idol is. But, well, he's not coming this time, and I'm sorry for that, but it's a happy event because he just became a father. So if you're watching the stream, congratulations. But instead, we have not left you hanging because we have an absolutely amazing speaker, a guest from Poland. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know if you're an amazing speaker because I didn't do a background check on you, but I believe you met Jazips in Paris Games Connect, right? And he was like, he came back, is like, there's this guy, he's amazing, we have to have him on our meetup, it's going to be absolutely great. And I trust him, so I expect you to be absolutely amazing. No pressure. So a round of applause, Tomasz Majka.
Hi, Latvian game dev industry. Yeah, I came from Poland, and I've to make the amazing speak about game dev. It's pretty difficult because I'm not a game developer. I used to be, but in fact, when we talk about myself, I'm in the industry for the last 27 years, and it is the most warm welcome that I had on the talk. But to be honest, the last time I had the warm welcome was in 2006 when I introduced Half-Life 2 to Poland. So it's, yeah, okay, it's pretty important. For the last 27 years, I've been doing various things in the game dev industry. I've been doing the distribution, and in a certain period of time, we decided to go to the development. And what happened basically that the market grows, Poland grows as a development in the game development industry. So we decided to jump in, open studio, and in fact I had in a top peak something like 130 people on board, and it was not a very successful story, to be honest, because I went bankrupt. Yeah, I've lost 3.5 million euros of my own savings, and I would say, okay, fuck me, yeah. But it's not that case. I learned very important thing. I've done everything wrong, and now I know how not to make games. Yeah, and some time ago, people from the industry, my friends, told me, "Okay, Tomek, it's a waste of experience, so let's do something." I said, "Okay, I will come back to the industry, but if I can bring the value to the developers." I was an investor producer, so I didn't know much more about production. Now I know much more about it. So I invented something which we called reverse recruitment, because definitely one of the major problems in the industry is just people. Yeah, do we have enough people? Do we have enough skilled people? So for half a year, I was thinking about how we can do it. So what is the reverse recruitment? I will tell you in a later stage. But this is the story. Yeah, this is the story how we've invented it. Okay, the team is now consists of 5 people. Now there is no Susie in it because we last month Susie joined us, and actually, we've got a team of friends and my family members, because Miki was working in our studio and went fired because of my mistakes. Max just starting. And as you can see, we've got the very funny titles in the company. Yeah? Christoph is a document. He is operation guy. He puts all the brackets, all the puzzles, and puts all the spreadsheets that we are running. Peter, who is based in Denmark at the moment, we call him Aim High Man. Yeah, he is 2 meters high, so he aims really high. Max, the youngest one, young man but can. Yeah, we push him a little bit. Miki is head of all. He is the boss of the company. He pretends, he is a boss of a company. And me, just old man with a young brain that tries to spread around the idea. Yeah, can we change the slide? So, I've asked myself a question. What are the real problems of the game dev industry recruitment? Are we suffering the lack of specialists? Or new employees are leaving too fast? Or new people don't fit to the team? Yeah, is it the question? Is it a thesis? Or we as developers, the studios, are doing something wrong? So I would like to ask you now, what's your opinion? Are we doing something wrong, or it's just a lack of people, and the industry grows like, I don't know, like hell, and we cannot match to the requirements? Lack of people. On developers, artists, designers. Okay, so this is one opinion. Any other opinion? No. So you agree with him? We do something wrong. Maybe we do something wrong. Okay. Okay. I think that apart from the fact that there is a lack of specialists, this is not the major factor that game dev studios having a problem with people. We believe that the problem is matching between people and studio. Proper match meaning finding the people who wants to work on the specific corporate culture and the specific titles in the specific roles. And as recruiters, HRs in the studio, we basically don't ask them what do they want to do. We just, if we got the developer that can do something in Unreal, yeah, well, let's take him, yeah? Come on. This is not the way. So what we do instead, we help others to reinforce their business, recruiting the right people. And how we do it? We ask questions. and listen to honest answers. Then we ask more questions, and we listen to more honest answers, and again and again and again. And finally, we are letting you, devs, artists, designers, to find your own answers. The process is very long, I must say, but not from the studio perspective, but from our perspective as recruiters. So how the process is looking like at the moment? Because it's still evolving. Okay, we act as a. Okay, I come back to my earlier stage. Apart from making games, I was running also the sort of artistic agency. So I was arranging exhibitions, concerts, and so on. So every time I was trying to arrange something, the manager, the agent, merchant came to me, and we've been setting up everything. Then the right person was coming to the gig, doing her stuff, and leaving the venue, yeah? Why, in the game dev industry, there is no such a position as a talent manager? Yeah? So a person who will take care of the talents. So I said, okay, this is the way we can do it. But before, we go to the studio. And with the studio, we ask again questions, talking to cleaning staff, talking to receptionists, talking to the juniors, seniors, to try to find the vibe of the studio, the culture of the studio, how they communicate between each other. And when we get this picture, we can try to match the people that we are selecting to these concrete studios, particular studios. And we do the same with candidate, yeah? We are getting the candidate, contacting them, interviewing them, and it's not a typical interview, like, you know, the checklist, how do you feel when your boss tells you you are a wanker, yeah? It doesn't matter, we just talk. Ask questions, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? What your wife likes to do? Trying to find more about it. And actually, when we get this information, we have another picture of a person who can basically meet the other picture. It's like a puzzle, yeah? On the studio picture, there is one missing puzzle. And there is a man who might be this puzzle. So asking those questions and listening to the answers is a long process, but it works. It basically works. We do the candidate's presentation to the studio, and this long, after this is a normal recruiter's jobs. But I am on every single interview between candidate and the studio. I never left my candidates on their own. And very often I just do the intro, making a show, this is the studio, this is the candidate, blah, blah, blah. And then getting silent because I don't need to. But he feels more confident if someone stands behind him in case something will happen during the talk. And I must admit, it happened pretty few times. That, for example, I had an Ukrainian guy who was interviewed by the Polish studio, and he was stressed and he forgets English. So I switched into Russian, yeah, and had a chat with him in Russian, just to calm him down a little bit. And he came back to this interview like a storm and smashed the studio. He's getting this job. So being on the interview is important for the candidates, for everyone, just to be more secured, feeling better. And we usually, in most cases we are silent, especially when programmers are talking, because we don't understand what they are talking about. Yeah? If they start to talk their own language, that's... So during the interview, the most important factor after this is a feedback. Yeah, yes, no, why? Why don't you want to hire me? You nice Mr. Studio. Yeah, and and we try. It's difficult because studios don't have time, don't want to. Yeah, there are two options. But we try to get this feedback. What was wrong? Yeah, and why they didn't want to hire the person. Job offer, person hired. Yeah, the process is taking about 2 weeks, and we don't work with the biggies of Polish market. I mean that, yeah, top 5 like CDPR, Techland, and so on and so on, because we believe that a human-centric approach to the recruitment process is giving the best result. And the other thing is, we've released, we've released couple games already. We made the games. They are available, so we know how not to make games because we lost the money. But on the other hand, we know what to do with recruitment process. Yeah, and HRs, yeah, usually they are HRs, yeah, and they don't know how to make games. We do, especially Miki, because I made a failure, but he is successful. Okay, so this is the results of the last 16 months of our hard achievement. Yeah, 17 companies so far. It is the presentation from Aarhus that I was giving some time ago. I mean, 1.5 months. So over 3,000 candidates were contacted by my people and my team. I went through 678 interviews at that time to hire 74 now professionals. You can say it's a high number, 70 people hired, or it's a small number, but this does not really matter. What matters, all of them are still working for those companies. All of them pass probation periods. All of them are happily working and meeting me in game industry conference saying, "You found me the best job ever." Yeah? And basically clients are happy as well. And you ask, who pays for this? Yeah, because it's taking time. Studio pays. Why? Because studio is getting the best possible match and fit to their needs. And usually when we talk about what we are doing wrong, and you said, are we doing something wrong? Yeah, I think we are doing something wrong. We are not treating people like men. We are treating them like a cell in a spreadsheet. And this is how HRs and recruitment agencies work. And we don't. Yeah, we don't do it. What is the benefit for the studio, apart from the fact that they are getting the best possible match for their requirements? The other thing is they are getting feedback, because we keep the contact with those people after the recruitment and while they are working. And it's difficult for someone who has been hired to tell his boss or his lead, senior, whatever, okay, this was wrong, onboarding was crap, but okay, I like the project, so I work with it. But they will tell me. Yeah? And this feedback, after some times, is getting back to the studio. Helps them to improve their processes, helps them to improve what they are doing with people. Yeah? Okay, these are our clients at the moment. No, some of our clients. Okay, the most proud of all, of course, is One More Level, the creators of Ghost Runner 2, and Cyberslash at the moment working with Take-Two Interactive. Yeah, but actually, we've recruited, the team is now 50 people. We've recruited 12. Yeah, the Dust, the group of the companies in Wrocław, Titan Games, British company Third Kind Games, and actually many others. And we started to work with Danish companies now, having Peter in Denmark, working permanently there. Can you change? Okay, so this is about imponderabilia. Why we chose to call ourselves imponderabilia? Because imponderabilia are tiny little things, not visible, that change a lot. Yeah. So this is how we work. This is how we believe the right recruitment should be done, especially in the creative industry, like game dev industry is. Okay, I tried to fit in 15 minutes. I think I did. No? Yes. So it's time now for your questions, because we've got a couple minutes for Q&A. If you've got any questions now, or to answer it in public, yeah, I will be happy to do it. If not, I'm not going to leave Riga now. I'm going to stay till tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much.
So really no questions? Yep.
Maybe, okay, feel free to not answer if you don't want, but how much does it cost for the studio to hire a developer? Is it like a 1 month salary maybe, or something like that?
Okay, it's not very secret, because the other thing that is important is honesty, and I basically not hide it. It's 2 months salary for one person, and it's decreasing up to 1.2 salaries with the number of people we are getting from the studio. So it's a kind of loyalty program for them.
I think recruitment is a really interesting field, and there are lots of problems. So I'm interested in, can you tell about time when you had some, like, people often lie in interviews? Can you tell your experience about, like, a professional liar who says, like, I will do everything, it's the best job in the world, and in the end he's a liar and does nothing? Do you have experience with that, and how do you fight with that?
Okay, as I said, honesty and transparency is something that I'm furious about it. Yeah, this is something, because I haven't been doing it when I was running my own studio. Yeah, so now I'm just very furious about being honest, and yeah, there are people who are lying. You can before the person gets to the interview with me, Max, Zuza, and Peter are reviewing the person very carefully. Yeah. So if someone is getting to one of those 600 interviews that I've done, he is carefully reviewed what he has done. Is this the truth, or he's lying? Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes we need to count on our feelings. But when we move then from soft interview with me, we are going to the tech interview with a studio, and then there is no rubbish. Yeah, we immediately see if he can program or he can draw. The portfolio is important. We are checking. I got an eye for an artist, but I cannot technically review the technical people, the programmers. But on the technical interview, it's immediately shown. Yeah. It's not. Sometimes there is a test. I don't like too much the test between programmers, because every task is different and every person should perform a little bit differently depending on the task. But in terms of the principles, he should follow the certain patterns. I don't mean programming patterns like singleton, because what I like about singleton is 18 years singleton, single barrel. Yeah, this is something that I like the most. Yeah, but in fact, yeah, the tech interview shows everything.
Any more questions? If not, I have one question. So, when you look right now at recruits and what the companies want, have you noticed particular professions that stand out, and have you noticed particular soft skills that stand out?
Okay, because I start with the soft skills, yeah, and because I work with a middle and small size companies where human-centric culture is important, the answer is coming itself, yeah. The people who loves people, yeah, and people who likes communicate. So this is the very important soft skill. In the current world, when we are very often remote, it's going to be even more difficult. But in terms of the professions, yeah, 100% I can say Unreal developers, yeah. But Unreal developers, okay, is it an engine developer, is it a tools developer, is it an AI developer? Oh, I had a nice example, because I had an interview with a AI programmer, yeah. I asked him, what are you doing? Yeah, I am AI programmer. Yes, okay, fine, but what are you doing? Yeah, I'm programming AI. Okay, are you good at it? Yeah, I think I'm good, and my bosses said I'm good. What do you like to do? I love gameplay programming. So why are you not programming gameplay? Because they put me in the AI and I learned it, but yeah, in fact, I fuck it, yeah? I don't like it. I said, come on, man. And these are the questions that you have to ask the person, because if you put him into another job with AI, he will be frustrated, yeah? But if you will give him a chance to do something he likes, then he will be basically happy. And yeah, Unreal programmers, quite a lot of porting, yeah, porting programmers. So people who are experienced with porting from PC to consoles, different technologies, yeah. This is about tech. Level designers. But I mean level designers, not level artists. The people with the experience with architecture, feeling the environment with a blackout, yeah? But trying to guide the player through the game. Just not an artist, but a good level designers. This is something that I'm looking still in Poland, yeah? Yeah, three major. And in art, yeah, not really special. Yeah, okay, we work with Danish company that is looking for the concept artists, but the concept artists are on the level like, I don't know, maybe Picasso can do. Yeah, top. But to get to the top, you need to go through all the pain and being a junior, mid, senior. And one thing, yeah, one very important thing. When we talk about seniority, this is very important. Okay, everyone is looking for seniors. But when I talk to studios, I'm asking, what this senior do? Yeah, he does the senior programming. But what seniority he's doing, yeah? Yeah, because he has to be on a higher level of knowledge. I said, you are a stupid idiot, yeah? Senior means that you have to be a tutor. You have to be a tutor. You have to be a mentor. And there is always two of them, master and apprentice, if someone understands. Yeah, and very often studios doesn't understand what seniority means. And we have to explain them that, okay, lead has the certain leading skills. Senior should have the teaching skills. because he has to get the apprentice that he can teach.
Any more questions?
Do you have experience in arranging multiple candidates for one studio? For example, the studio has like a main project on the back burner and they want to do a little prototype pet project and they need an artist, a programmer, I don't know, a gameplay designer.
Effectively, it happened, but not as a task. Like, for example, Studio X is giving me, okay, hire me the task force for prototyping. Yeah, designer, artist, programmer, and they will do the No, in fact, it happened after all, but not as a task. Didn't have such an experience, because then I would try to select the team of the people and just steal them from the other company.
So there were.
Yeah, actually, about stealing, what's your opinion about headhunting, about people who wasn't thinking about changing job?
I would say that 60% of the people that we've hired didn't think about changing the job. Yeah. And yeah, 40 people were looking for opportunities, but it's a matter basically of, again, I'm coming back to the asking questions. Because why don't you want to change job? Either you are happy, or like you are as this AI programmer in a certain comfort zone that you know what to do and you know what they are asking you to do, and you're not very happy, but who cares, yeah? So, yeah, when we approach to people, and we call it a direct search, we don't put the advertisement. We are not waiting for people to come to us. We are attacking people around the world, and we are bringing to Poland people from really all over the world. So yeah, most of them didn't want to change a job. We showed them the option, and I had cases when, yeah, actually last week, one of the girls said, "Okay, I've got option 1 and your option," and I told her, "Okay, go for it. Yeah, I don't want my money because I believe it fits to your dream job." Yeah, and you, as a recruiter, you have to be open and honest, and sometimes agree. Okay, my client is not that good as the other offer. Yeah.
Any more? If not, then thank you so much. Round of applause again. And if you have any more questions, you can find Thomas during the entire event here. But up next, what do we have? Let's click on the button. Yes, we have voting. So please, guys, right now, take out your phones. I want to promise that this time your voting is going to matter. I can't, but I'm going to do my best. And yeah, please select the speaker, like everyone. Please take out your phones and just do it, or your laptops, whatever you have. And we're doing a few minutes break. What time is it? So till 50, we're doing a break till 50. So please do the voting and refill your drinks. Yeah. Помедленнее. Ну, они Okay, and yeah, it looks like we have a very clear winner, which is Vladimir, and he will do a Q&A on all the burning questions you might have about running, I might add, successfully running your game development studio. So that's something to look forward for January. And by the way, I also want to apologize if my voice sounds off. The other reason why we wear hats in December is because we get sick a lot. And we're like in the bed and just with the hat and very sad. Anyway, aside from that, let's move on. The next slide. And we're having news. So first off, we're having some changes in the way we're having meetups. So up till now, it happened only in Riga on site, but we have news. Simone, please do the thing. An awkward moment.
Greetings from the windy and today especially snowy Liepaja. And I'm here to tell you that in Liepaja we have a small but growing community of game dev enthusiasts and professionals who want to meet up. And you have the amazing opportunity and the chance to join us in January for our GameDev Meetup here in Liepaja. So don't hesitate and register for the meetup here in Liepaja, and we will welcome you here in Liepaja Technology Cluster premises to talk about games and meetup. So see you in Liepaja. Have a great event. Bye.
So yeah, starting next year, we're doing 2 meetups in parallel, one in Riga and one in Liepaja, and we're joining them via streaming bridge. So for those of you who might be looking always at the stream because you live in Kurland and your work is in Kurland and you cannot make it to Riga at 7 o'clock in the evening, now you can go to Liepaja. So aside from that, we are also collecting speakers for the entire next year. So there's a Google form, and if you want to speak or you know someone who would like to speak or who you want to hear speak, please fill out the form or send out the form or help out. Because yeah, every help making this meetup and making it better and its content better is really appreciated. Also, if you're thinking like, oh, I shouldn't speak because I'm like not Hideo Kojima, it's okay. Like there's a lot of really good experience that each of you have that other people would be grateful to hear. The next up, I want to talk about Alternative Engine Jam. So this is a jam that's happening every single month at the end of the month. It's happening online, and the main idea is to use an engine which is not very popular, so no Unity, Unreal, or whatever. Instead, you can use Ozil. Yep. Okay, so another game jam, if you're not into a bit longer ones, is 3-hour game jam. That's happening every weekend. And you only have 3 hours to develop a game. And if you're thinking, hey, you can't make a game in 3 hours, you absolutely can. I have done it. And the thing is that planning doesn't go in those 3 hours. So it's a really good way to level up your planning and your management skills. Then I want to invite one of the Global Game Jam organizers of next year to, just another organizer or anyone who wants to talk about the event.
Hey people. Yes, so we're gonna have a Global Game Jam on 3rd to 5th of January or February, yeah. So things are moving along. We actually have a place that we're currently in talks with. It's like 99% confirmed, but we don't want to announce it just yet, just because it's not 100%. And we have a person who's gonna get us pizzas and drinks and stuff, and well, things are moving along basically. But there's just not too much to announce yet. you're going to be able to register very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Check out GameDev.lv website, the blog for news. We'll probably put the link there where to sign up. And yeah, next meetup, we're probably going to have something more concrete, but things are looking up. So, yay.
Yeah, round of applause. One of the organizers, and there's the other. We can do another round of applause for you. Okay, he's done everything. Also, for those of you who don't know, Global Game Jam is always a free event, which basically means free pizzas. Yes, okay, free pizzas. Okay. So another thing that I want to remind you that Game Development World Championship is going on still, and you can apply to have your games there. So this event is kind of like year awards for games, except the prizes are actually worth money or is money. And I believe you have still till February to apply. So hey, maybe think about it if you're releasing a game soon. And the last thing is Castle Game Jam. That's happening next year. Siemens, may you do the honors and press another slide. Yes, excellent. Then run the video. Okay, perfect. So, and turn off the sounds. Very good. So yeah, Castle Game Jam, the organization is underway. We're looking around 400 people for the event. We had it previously to 500. We had to cap it because we were just looking at the logistics, because we have changed the event's place. It's Jaunpils, which is also a Jaunpils town, which is super tiny. But yeah, right now we're still doing the final touches. We're still checking the logistics. We're still making sure that everyone has a place to sleep. Everyone has a corner and a table and a good internet connection to develop your games. So Castle Game Jam is basically a 5-day marathon in a historical castle where you make games. You can make board games, you can make PC games, VR games, whatever. So it's basically very, very free theme. Yeah, the cannon. We want to have that cannon for the opening. So the way it's happening, it's in January. June 10th to 17th of June. The first day is just networking. So we're having medieval games, we're having a barbecue in the historical park. Then the next day the jam starts. It's 5 days of jamming. And then at the end of that is 1 day of conference. And the ticket includes everything, including sleeping space. So yeah, and also this event has happened previously for 2 years in Sweden, where games like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator and others were made. So that started there, and they actually earned millions of dollars afterwards after launching the game. So yeah, it's absolutely happening. If we do 2 checkups, so one more checkup is in January, we make sure that the logistics are all well, because getting 400 people to one place from all around the world is a bit tricky. And the second thing is on February, we're starting a Kickstarter. If we sell 150 tickets, the event is happening. If not, it's postponed to the next year. So, hey, check out castlegamejam.com if you're curious, and we'll definitely notify about the Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, you can move forward. Yeah, that's enough from me. It's time for you, humans, and everyone else. And he even has a laptop this time. He's going to show a shader. So,
Okay. Can I attach my computer thing? No. No sound. Hey people. So I'm currently working on a small game for kids, for really tiny kids, for like toddlers. And this the idea is you click around and this little mouse is like following around you, and you can like bump into watermelons. And the goal of the game is to just navigate the mouse to the end of the screen, which is this little. If you can tell, it's actually cheese, but it looks terrible currently. You can't eat it, but you can bump into it, and it kind of breaks apart. But yeah, that's mostly the game itself, but that's not the end of what I want to show you. So, can you give me 1 minute? I actually do need a mouse, or maybe do you have a mouse? No. 1 second.
So I have a question. Did you buy the assets or? Yeah, they're very good.
Thanks. I bought them myself. So, yeah, this time I decided just I wanted to just make a game, and I just used whatever assets I had. I might replace them with my own later on, but anyway. So yeah, when you run the game, currently there's like no dynamic level generation or anything. When you run the game, you can see that it generates a nav mesh, and when you press on the thing, the character just kind of moves around on the nav mesh. So nothing spectacularly interesting there, but there is something going on in this project, and I'm going to show you. But first, I want to show you how it runs around, because I guess people really like that. I don't know, does that look cute? I hope it does. Also, no? Okay, and it also has a butthole. I didn't make those assets. So, the game. This whole show and tell thing that I'm showing right now is actually not about the game itself. It's more about the tech that I'm putting into this game that I've been working on for a while. Like not the game itself, but just the underlying tech that I'm using. So the way I'm making this project is, sorry, I need to move the mic closer, I think. The way I'm working on this project is by using my own sort of entity system. So basically, these characters have like a bunch of components in them, but I didn't really place them by hand. And this character itself is a type of an entity, which is being controlled by an entity manager. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I created something called an EDS generator. EDS stands for Entity Data System. It's not really like ECS, but it's something sort of maybe a little bit like that, but not quite. So the idea is that we have entities that we can create. So we can create, let's say, entity called tree, for example. We can just generate entity classes. It shows me a little preview here, and I'll just recompile it. And then we go under entities. You can actually see it, a tree here. And we have a tree editor and a tree entity and a tree factory which creates the tree. And then if we go under actors and under data, we actually create a tree. And we can add components to it, but there's no components yet. So let's just go over here. We can actually choose tree now. And let's just say leaves, a leaves component. It's going to give me a tree leaves, tree leaves, I guess. Oh wait, I misspelled that. Just leaves. And yeah, if we create that, then we can create a leaves component, which we can then add to. Just a second. Somebody's calling me. Then we can add the leaves to the component list like this. So now we have a leaves component. And what do we do with that? Well, we can actually add some code to it. For example, just an example, let's just add a simple value. if somebody's gonna tell me to make a constructor for this, I'm gonna throw a share. But anyway, so if we go over here and we look at the tree, rather if we look at the leaves, we can see that it has a color component now. We can make it green because I think trees usually have green leaves, right? Then you can open up the tree data stack, or rather the entity, and we actually see the editor here as well. So you can see the color here. We can maybe add more leaf colors, like multiple ones, if we really wanted to. Wait, what am I doing that? I mean, this is the same object. If we change this, I'm going to change, but you get the idea. We can add a bunch of different types of components here. So we have the player, which I created previously. And the player has one missing component for some reason, but it has a bunch of these components. So it has like a graphics component which references a skin. The skin has a prefab in it. So we can actually change the prefab right here. We can change some pathfinding settings, like how fast it moves, how does it rotate, its like physics properties and controls. So just for fun, let's just remove the controls component. And we have no controls anymore. But if we add it to add it back, well, we're gonna have controls, obviously. Not too exciting. But it was really cool. Sorry. Oh. Is it streamer? Oh, okay. Sorry, stream guys. Apparently you didn't hear me. But that's okay for now. So when we add a bunch of these like components to under a specific type of entity, we can actually go to debug. We can see that a lot of these entities that we created have created like extensions for this particular entity type, this spawn type. So we can see like, does this thing have a body? Yes, it does. Does this thing have controls? Yes, it does. Does it have physics? I guess not. And so on, so on. So let's create a new component for the player. Let's create a tab. Oh wait, let's just stop the game because it's gonna crash and stuff, crash and burn. So tab ability, I guess. And yeah, let's just create it. So you can have like actually some. We can change the prefix. You saw that there was like has a body or whatever. We can change it to like is a body or can a body if you want to. We can, or just create like a custom prefix. You can also like unclick any of these, and it's gonna make your code not work. But let's just leave those on. So for the player, let's just create the thing that I just generated, called tappability. Let's exit debug mode. So in the tappability, tappability config. We don't need the config, but let's go to system. Because this is a mono behavior underneath, we can just say public, or rather, what on mouse down. Yeah, sure. So let's just say if we click on the mouse, we can easily then access the character that we put this component on top of. We can get its graphics. Then we go to its skin instance. Then we go to its animator. And then animator again. And then we set trigger to. Actually prepared this previously, so it doesn't take more than 10 minutes. So on tap. And then if we go over here and just add the tappability to our player thing, if we run the game, then what we're gonna have is a game that's not running. What we're gonna have then is, if we pressing the mouse, it jumps. Yes. And it really likes the cheese. Yes. So we can like add new types of abilities like really easily. Like say you want to have an attack ability, so you create an attack ability component, and then you add some things in the config, and then the system, which is then the mana behavior that gets added to the player in the game. So if we wanted to have like, I don't know, like a specific animation trigger instead of the tap ability, you can just add it like a layer, a value here that we can change, and we can make a bunch of these components and add them to different characters. We can have like a bunch of characters that have different jumping animations or whatever. But really the whole thing about this is that it's, what I made was basically code generation. So when we generate this thing, when I press generate, it creates like a bunch of these scripts for me, which allow me to very easily create new components or mechanics even. So for this particular project, for example, I needed some character physics things, and I just took the body component particularly. Actually, no, it was the rotator component, which just turns the character around in a specific speed in a specific angle. I took it from a different game, which was like a third-person action game, and I put it in here, and it just worked. Because the whole folder just contains extensions and scripts that are completely independent. They have no dependencies on any of these components here. I mean, they can have, but this one doesn't. So I was able to do that. And I've made like really quick prototypes this way, none of which have been released, but that's why they're prototypes. And yeah, next step I think would be to make this into a CLI tool where I can create components and entities in a bulk. So I could just create these entities with these kinds of components, and it just does it in one click. So I don't have to wait for Unity to reload scripts every time I create one component. And this whole thing also makes it so that I don't need any singletons or anything like that, any of that boring stuff which breaks your game. So yeah, that's the whole thing, I guess. Anyone has any questions? I'm gonna break the cheese again because it looks funny. Yay. Any questions? No? Okay, fine. Oh wait, yeah. Do we have anyone else? The game? Okay, I would like to give this mic to my reformed rabbi, Orthodox Elvis.
Were we supposed to clap at that? Okay.
What, did you watch Game Awards? What? Reformed Orthodox rabbi. So in the previous meetup, I told you that I'm working on a project. So let me remind you. So I was telling about a library that I'm working on. If you know Metal, it's Apple's graphics rendering API with which you can render stuff on Mac and iPhones and Apple TV and Apple devices. And so unlike Vulkan or OpenGL or Direct3D, which support C and C++, Metal supports only Objective-C and Swift. So what I was working on, and I promised that I will finish it until this meetup, so I did. You can now finally write Metal in modern C++ language. So here is first two triangles rendered with C++. So it doesn't look cool, but it's actually really cool. Now you can write Metal rendering code in C++. So that's what I did, and now I can finally write my games in pure C++. So yeah, that's it from me, and now I will move on to my game I hope in the next meetup. Yeah. How does it work? So it actually uses Objective-C runtime underneath, but it calls it through C because it's accessible with the C layer. So, and then it's wrapped in C++. It's a bit of magic, but now it's really cool because you don't have to think about anything of this. You can just write pure C++ code, modern C++ code, and it will work. It's actually a lot of code to get to these two triangles, but still, if you are writing a game in C++, you can now use all of the rendering backends, Vulkan, Direct3D, and now Metal, and use them all using just C++. Now you don't have to use other languages like you had before.
Any more questions to Elvis? If not, who's up next? Show and tell. Open mic is open still.
Well, hello there. I'm a bit nervous. It's the first time for me as a artist, I would say. Is it okay? Yep, all right. I'm gonna have a cheat sheet. Okay. Over there. All right. This is better? Yeah. So, currently, me and my brother, who's right now is like a mental support for me, we are working on a game. Yeah. It was that, right? Yeah. It's called Life of Glory. It's an... Let me see. Disappeared my cheat sheet. Let me see. It's a long term, so I can't remember it by head. So it's a high-risk action RPG survival multiplayer online PC game. Jesus. So, skaņu vienīgais vajadzēs, jā.
Things to be easy, the line.
Greetings!
So we already saw that. Basically, that game is gonna be like you heard of Albin Online, right? More or less. You have only one life. If you die, your items are left at your corpse, and you start over, or partially over. We won't have any leveling system. We will be based on. Thank you. Will be based on glory points. That's gonna be the currency, the value which you're gonna see in a high score. How to define it? Leaderboard. Thank you. And yeah. So I will continue a bit later about game. So I made the cinematic in 2 weeks. Sorry for the minor maybe mistakes or something like that, but I hope you're gonna enjoy it.
When I was young, my father once told me, for things to be easy, the line has to be straight. What he didn't tell me is that the line is curved as a lace on the shoes. I learned it the hard way, but it doesn't mean that you can't cheat your way for the glory. You wonder why? Well, let me tell you. It all starts in the great city of Grand Valley, prosperous, full of warriors of different taste. Although locals think of it as a peaceful place, but only those who seek glory will find it rich beyond measures. And because of those riches it possesses, the city is in threat of the land's mightiest dragons. And that's why few people and their families seize this opportunity to join the fight, defeating the enemy for the sake of glory, and defending our sanctuary from the opposing threat. Everyone plays a part in this great conflict. And sure, it takes courage to join the war, and it's hard to survive to tell the tale. And a lot of them rather steal from the dead to to obtain wealth. But in the end, it will be the strongest ones who will endure no matter how, healing allies, defending them, or striking enemy down directly. And the more they do, the harder it gets. But with the right mindset, training hard, and polishing their equipment, I can assure you, they will survive. They will tell the tale. They will live the life in glory.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, as I told you, that Life in Glory is gonna be an RPG game. It's mostly gonna be one life game. If you die, you lose your items. The people who play beside you can, of course, either steal your items or help you to regain them. Because if you go further, the NPCs you fight is going to be even stronger and stronger. So it's going to be a high risk for you to obtain those items back. As standard, there's going to be tier items which gonna drop from NPCs. You can upgrade them to the blacksmith. You have to obtain 4 of a kind to upgrade them, and so on, till tier 5. After that, you're gonna have a boss fight. But to get to the boss fight, you have to first find the dungeons. How you find the dungeons? Well, you have an expedition in the city. You kind of purchase the services from him and go to the specific location where is located the dig site. After that, you have a 5-minute countdown. You have to survive a barrage of minion attacks. It's gonna be like a massacre. If you survive those 5 minutes, the dungeon's gonna appear. Of course, you receive your glory points, which allows you to purchase potions, which will be indispensable, but you're gonna have a countdown for them. So you can't go solo everywhere and just heal yourself up like a drunk maniac. But yeah, you find the boss fight, you obtain the set tiers, you can mix match those set tiers between the classes, so you don't have to go like a tank or a warrior or assassin or damage dealer or healer. That triangle is almost non-existent. Of course, it's gonna have to be mandatory to survive like as a team in a boss fight, but you can choose. You can be a partial paladin or warrior or something like that. And yeah, the goal is basically to survive as long as you can, because in the high score you can see who's the most, how to say it correctly, who has the most glory points basically. And it's gonna be hard to get there because you have to spend glory points to get items. You have to spend glory points to get enchants or potions or variety of things. And in the same time, it's gonna let you think a little bit more how to spend it. Do you need it? Do you don't need it? So you can be at a high score if you want, if it's your goal to be to #1 priority. But yeah, basically, that's the most about the game. I don't have any gameplay, but I hope we're gonna get there next month or 2 months later, maybe. We'll see. But we'll get you updated. We're working on a homepage as well, on Discord as well. So if you have any questions, you can contact us, or right here you can ask questions freely. So yeah, that's basically, I think it, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Any questions to the speaker? If not, moving on. So who's up next? Anyone wants to yes?
never the boat. No.
Never. Oh, hello, hello everybody. If you remember me, oh, am I in the camera now? I did a presentation here, I believe it was in August or September, about AI voice actors. I don't know if anyone was, how many of you were here. So there are just a couple of changes that there was something that I worked on. Now it's also visible, yeah. And this was the program that I was showing off, but I did not have it connected to a game. This is just a space game that I had helped kickstart. It's a, let's see, let's just grab a player. It's a spectate. Let's see if I have muted on purpose. This is gonna be the speaker. No, it's gonna be microphone. I think it's gonna be the headphone. Well, let's just try. Can't tell if there's any sound right now. The sound is most important. Oh, the game sound is not here. Or sorry. Volume is here. Let's just try that even if without sound. What I'm trying to do is have a text-to-speech for this game, a text-to-speech voice that would be the ship computer for the spaceship computer. And so I made a API, and we don't care anything because the line. Now it plays. Why does it do that? It's supposedly playing, but I can't hear anything. We can't hear Windows, can't we? Okay, that's a speaker, but there's no other sounds. Yeah. No, not too many. Probably not headphones, yeah. There should be headphones. Oh, those were the first one.
What?
Headphones. Yeah, they were on mute. Okay, good, thank you. Let's try it now. Yep, we got it.
Pendroker has left the squad. Pendroker has created a new squad.
What I'm doing is I'm just reading the game's log file. And I made a Python script that just reads the log file and then contacts this TTS service and then exvasynth service and just generates the voice audio file and then plays it. The same thing. The idea was to have a dynamic text-to-speech voice for the game.
Pericles.
This works. Alright, I was gonna have a mouse. It's gonna be hard to play. Well, I got a lot of money and I can actually do this. I'm gonna just grab a big ship. Hopefully. Because with our mouse it's gonna be difficult to fly. the moment that I either destroy another ship or damage its subsystem, and then it's gonna see if a line has to be generated.
Target's missile ray destroyed.
It's gonna be really hard to fly without a mouse. Come on, Seaman, you can share the mouse with me. Thank you. Alright, let's go.
Missile ray damage.
Oh, that's mine. It's supposed to be mine missile array, that's just damage. That on the bottom left, it's all my weapons I have on this massive ship.
Target searcher. Blaster destroyed.
I can target the subsystems on another ship.
Target's blaster turret destroyed.
You always have to look up
Target is gone.
on the top on target is gone, yeah. And that's where it just adds a line to the log file, and I just read the log file, and then it should just place it back. If it exists, or if it doesn't exist, it contacts this program and then generates the sound. The voice is from Mass Effect, from the second Mass Effect. It's ED. This whole program is open source. The question on if you can actually use in the commercial games a copyrighted voice, that's very, very questionable. So I tried to, I don't know, I tried to find a voice that we could use for commercial games. Let's go for Edge and private window. So the Mozilla Firefox, the company, Mozilla company, has created a repository for recording voice lines that anyone can use. They're all, I believe it's the license was GPT, or I don't know, I don't remember. They also even collect Latvian voices as well. Data sets of Latvian consists of 8 hours of people. You can just go. Where's the where's the help partner? No. That's record if you want to record your voice, but you will know that I only need like 2 or 3 minutes of audio in order to recreate your voice. That's not a lot. This one was actually very bad.
Tu viņai vari teikt to, ko nevari teikt man.
And yeah, that's where I got the dataset for another voice. Let's go for. Let me switch to English, because that's the biggest dataset, and I believe it was 70 gigabytes, and it's all one zip file. Even though I only wanted one voice. 56 gigabytes, and my hard drive broke down, so I can't actually get to it. But I did get a voice for that I trained. Training took about. There's one of the programs is this ExoSynth. That's the one that just generates the audio files. The other one is for training. ExoSynth Trainer, it's called, and you need a beefy computer to do it. And it takes maybe a few days to train a voice. Does not appear. Just there's the voice that I made. This one does not appear here. Let me check. Oh, I guess it's not in the right spot. Yeah, it's not in the right spot. Okay, we're gonna get it now. And what I wished was that the developer of this game, I'm not actually a developer, I'm just helping out. I did want to be a sound designer for this game, but just that would be an amateur level if I actually tried.
Testing.
And now I'm trying to get the voice from Common Voice. Yeah, it just doesn't appear here because I don't have a D disk. My D disk is broken. I do not have a D disk. Oh, there she is. Okay. Loading the model. I believe if I reloaded the model, it actually changed here as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm only, yeah, that's, no, it's actually over.
Pendroker has created a new squad.
I know the right, yeah, just have it, her speak and it's it.
Heracles. Thank you for your time.
Oh, that's, well, yeah. And just one more comment that because this is a ship computer, I only wanted to add a computerized effect for her, or it doesn't matter which one would it be. And if there's some inhumanness about the voice, then it would be concealed by just if you add some synthesized effects. That's why I didn't really care how good with this voice.
Thank you for your time.
Would come out. Yeah. All right, that's it.
Right, round of applause. Thank you. Anyone else? Then I'm gonna. Can you connect my laptop, Mr. Siemens? Yep, and the mouse as well. So last time I showed you a game, like a fun project, passion project I was working on, and I was creating the combat system. This time I had less time this month. It was kind of busy, so I was looking into making the inventory system work and also the quest log. So let's just launch it. Where did the... Oh, there we go. Yes. Can you wait? So what I did, I hope it's not going to crash, because previously when you click twice on the button it crashes. So I did the character creator. That was something I showed previously. But what is new is that if you, I don't know, you modify the character in any way, and then you press done, the game actually remembers what your character looked like in the next scene. And yeah, I created a scene and I implemented the escape menu, which pauses time, and also the inventory log. And I started work on quest log, and nope, that's. And yeah, you can pick up stuff from around the scene. I also experimented with shaders, so you can loot it. And now if you open up the inventory, it actually has picked up those shoes, and it has also noticed that it has a weight, which is 2 units. And you press on it, you actually equip the shoes, you can unequip, you can drag the shoes. Yep. Sorry. Okay. Good thing someone told me, like, you know, after the entire presentation. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate. Just if you would have done that faster, I would appreciate more. So yeah, that's now you can see it, right? That's pretty much what I was doing, just messing around with the, and also yeah, creating this room. Aside from that, let me just, no, wait. Let's use, I hope it works. Yeah, it works, great. Aside from that, what is this? Which one do I have to choose? I don't know, I'm gonna show another one, because I'm also studying together with some colleagues that are here. And for this course, we have to make a 2D platformer game, and I decided to choose a very old cartoon to remake in a 2D platformer. And you probably all know it. It's very popular. And there's no sound. Well, the audio is from the original cartoon, because for this task we don't have to, like, you know, we can use copyrighted materials because it's just an assignment. And I was working on the character controller and and I was using Unity visual scripting, which we used to know as Bolt, until Unity acquired it. And the movement itself is easy, but now I'm really struggling with the animator, because it breaks a lot. Yep, it already broke. I'm really struggling with that one. But hey, maybe I'll figure it out until I have to hand it in at the start of January. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks for the attention. Anyone has questions? Thanks. Vladimir is looking at me angrily and raising his arm.
I mean, don't go out, like, don't go too far away from this. Why do you need a combat system for the first one?
The first one is a story-driven RPG, and quite a lot around the story is based on your result in the combat. Yeah. So, anyone else for show or tell or questions? If not, we are concluding this part. You have valiantly endured and sit down, because the next one we all know, it's free beer, aka the game.
Do you know what time it is? He looks like he doesn't know. Yep, the game time. So the rules are simple. I will show you some pictures and you will try to guess the game. Those who guess the first will get guess correctly. Will get a free beer. So let's go. The first one. Jazeps. Yep. Case of the golden idol. So it's an iPhone case, gold and idol. Yep. So this was quick. The next one will also be pretty quick. So be ready. Let's go. Yes, Street Fighter. So Street and Fighter. And the last one, as always, from the one of the previous meetups. This one will be really probably a second one, a few second one. Let's go. Yeah, you are the first. Yes, it's Spore. Exactly. So that's it. Thanks for playing the game. Get your free beer there and see you later. Bye.
But unlike in all the previous meetups where this is the end and you just get refill of your beers or whatever, in this December meetup we have a little surprise. So, I have this massive goodie bag. It's supposed to be like a Santa's bag, but it's tough times now. And I want to. Why did I tie it? Like I knew I had to get it open during the event. It's good. I can do it. Anyway, it contains. As I said, tough times. It contains chocolate. Yeah. Who would have thought, right? But the reason why it contains chocolate is because just like Santa, without his elves that make all the gifts, would be just an older guy with a very meticulously kept beard and odd fashion sense. This meetup would be a bit underwhelming without all the people who actually put in the work month after month to make this meetup happen. And the first person I want to have a big thank you, holiday thank you, is the guy behind the stream. Tomasz Majka. Thank you. So without this guy, we would have no stream, because I put down in the organizers chat, hey guys, I'm not doing this. Either someone steps up or we're not having a stream. And Siemens was like, fine. Next up, I have someone, so whenever we have speakers that don't live in Latvia, that come from abroad, there's a bit more logistics involved. And there's a person who helps me out with the hotels, with the travel and everything. Jāzeps Rutkis. So next up, we have a person who sadly couldn't attend, but he's doing another job that I really hate doing, and so far I haven't found a single person in the association who loves doing it. It's marketing. It's all those events and social media posts and all the timetables and schedules. And Janis, if you're watching this stream, this particular tiny chocolate goes out to you. Thank you so much for helping. Next up, we have a chocolate for someone who has created something that is unique and special to Latvian GameDev Meetup. And I have no idea how long it has been going on, but it always has been the closing event, the master of the game, Elvis Strasdiņš. So before you run off, a quick question: do you ever keep account how many games have been, how many beers have been drank?
Whoa. I started it in around Meetup 40 or 50. So it's 3 beers a Meetup, so it's probably 150. But I will count them. I will do it next time. It's an interesting question.
Okay. And last we have a chocolate, and that's my chocolate because I love chocolate. Thanks. So thank you everyone who came to this meetup, and I see you in 2023. Goodbye, or stay, or network. Yes.